Guys, we've got two that are going to be baptized today. We're really, really excited, and they're very unique, very different testimonies, but I would like you to draw your attention to the screen so we can see our first one, and this is Ashley Smith. Please. Face to the
Hi, I'm Ashley Smith.
Hey, Ashley, what was life like before you accepted Jesus, and why is it that you want to be baptized?
Well, my childhood was bad. And to accept Jesus Christ as my personal Savior.
When you say your childhood was bad, what do you mean?
My dad was abusive to my mother.
And that made you feel really bad. And you want to be baptized, why?
To accept Jesus as my personal Savior.
That's good. To accept Jesus as your personal Savior. Well, tell me, how did you come to know Jesus as your personal Savior?
My grandma taught me when I was a child
When you were a child, she taught you. What did she teach you?
about Jesus.
About Jesus. I love it. So that B-I-B-L-E song, she taught you all that? Oh, I love it. I love it. Anything else she teach you, or?
Just about Jesus.
Just about Jesus. That's great. Well, tell me, Ashley, have you accepted Him as your Lord and Savior?
Yes.
So you've asked Him to come into your heart?
Yes.
Forgive you of your sins?
Yes.
And cleanse you of all unrighteousness?
Yes.
Amen. Praise God for that. Well, now that you've accepted Jesus, what steps do you plan to take in illuminating Him?
To commit my life to the Lord Jesus Christ.
You want to commit yourself to the Lord. And how do you think you're going to do that? By going to study, maybe Bible studies? Small groups? That's good. That is so wonderful. And tell me, who are you?
Ashley Smith.
Amen. It's really amazing how some people, they just tell you like it is, you know? You're right to the point. I love it. Awesome, awesome, awesome. He tells me don't hold her down very long. You guys think I should take heed to that? Oh, Ashley, for the profession of your faith and belief in the Lord Jesus Christ as your personal Savior, I now baptize you in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. She said it felt good. Amen. Praise God for that. At this time, we've got JC Boyd, and she's going to share her video as well. So please, draw your attention to the screen.
Hi, my name is JC Boyd, and this is my baptism video.
Awesome. JC, what was life like before you accepted Jesus, and why did you want to be baptized?
I feel like life before I fully accepted Jesus was just a lot of doubt and a lot of fear about everything in life. I believed in a God for a long time, but to actually accept Jesus Christ as my Savior and be a true follower, that all kind of started happening a little bit later in life. And I don't know that it was like one particular moment that I actually accepted Jesus Christ as my Savior, but it was just kind of it was more of like a timeline, I guess. Whenever I first started teaching at AIS Diamond, which is a school, an alternative school for behavior, and my first year there was very, very challenging to say the least. I had been in many other schools, and I just, as a teacher, I felt like I just could never find my fit at any school. And finally, once I got to AIS Diamond, I felt like that was my last stop, and I either was going to make it work there, or I wasn't going to teach anymore at all. And my first year there was so hard, it was so challenging, it was so complicated, and I just wanted to quit. And I feel like often the kids were pushing me to my boundaries, and even at times I felt like they were trying to make me quit. And then there was an accident in my family, and my brother and his daughters were actually involved in a very tragic accident, and my brother was in a coma for a while, and the girls were hurt very severely, but my brother ended up passing away, and thankfully to God, the girls ended up making a full recovery. And at that time in my life, I was so distraught that I didn't want to go back to work. I didn't want to go back to school. I wanted to quit teaching. And I took off several weeks of work, and I didn't want to go back. I was done. I didn't think I could do it. And somehow I ended up going back to work after my brother had passed and the funeral and everything, and the girls were starting to heal a bit. And when I went back to work, my students surrounded me, and they cried with me, and they hugged me, and they just loved me and welcomed me back. And at that moment, I knew I was where I was supposed to be. And I knew that I was put there because of God. And I've lived all my life seeing other people where they're supposed to be, and I'm so jealous of that. Like, I believed in a God, and I knew there was a God, and I knew I would meet God one day, but I couldn't figure out why can't I be where I'm supposed to be? Why can't I find my calling? You know, and I was jealous of that. And I finally knew at that moment, at the end of that first year, that I was where I was supposed to be. And I knew it was because of God. So how can a person be where they're supposed to be if there isn't a true, real God out there? And I knew it then.
Oh, that's amazing. Wow. I really appreciate hearing that. Well, how did you come to know Jesus Christ as your personal Savior?
I just think through all of that, I knew at that moment that, I guess at that moment I started learning more about Scripture, about the Bible, and part of that actually through coming here to Forest Hills and just really wanting to learn, being excited about learning about God and understanding that just through that time and learning these things, that God is my personal Savior. And I believe that in my heart. I don't know how else to explain it, but I do believe that.
That's good. That you have asked Him to come into your life and forgive you of your sins.
Absolutely.
That is phenomenal. Well, tell me, JC, what steps do you plan to take now that you have accepted Jesus as your Savior?
I think now that I have fully accepted Jesus Christ as my Savior, I just want to let go more of this life that I see as what should be perfect or perfection. I'm very much a perfectionist, and sometimes that's hard. That struggle is real. It's hard to live like that. And I want to be, I don't want to be living a life perfect as I should see fit, but I want to be as good as God wants me to be.
JC, thank you so much for sharing what a testimony. Looking forward to seeing what God is going to do.
Okay, that's awesome.
Hi, my name is
She talked about being perfect and living a perfection life, and now she wants to turn it all over to the Lord Jesus Christ. And I tell you, that speaks volumes. And JC, upon the profession of your faith, I now baptize you in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Every person is different when it's time for them to get baptized. She just sat down. She said, I'm going to do this myself. Amen for that. But praise God. Guys, it is just so awesome. Here's two more people into the kingdom. You know, Jesus talks about one person repents. You know, all heaven rejoices. So I think there's rejoicing going on in heaven. At this time,